time we started, I said I was going to take out of order Miss Nicole Murphy state case. So do you have anything more that, okay, who's behind you?
Me?
No, Miss Ashley, who's behind you?
Who's
Hello?
behind you?
Hello?
Who's behind you?
Who's behind you? You're on mute. You need to double click the mute mic.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes.
Where are you, Miss Murphy?
I'm at home.
Okay, well, so why aren't you here if you didn't go to work?
Why you asking the question? Where?
Who is that?
That's her boyfriend. That's what my kids have to deal with.
No, they don't.
That's who my kids.
Okay, stop.
And
Stop.
No.
Stop.
Yeah.
How do you know?
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you take the child and put her in that side room right there, please? Miss Murphy, you need to turn your video back on. Miss Murphy. All right. Ms. Lord, did you ever interview any witnesses that Ms. Murphy presented?
She did not present me with any witnesses.
Okay. Ms. Murphy?
Hello?
All right.
Hello?
We're gonna move then. We'll skip over Ms. Murphy.
Hello?
You need to turn your volume up.
Hello?
Yes, Ms. Murphy, why are you not here if you're home?
Because the lady reported to me at 6:52 p.m. that my background check is still pending. But my start date was yesterday. Well, today. And I
So
can't
why
verify the information through.
I'm sorry?
I can verify the information through email.
That's not my point. My point is, if you knew that you were not going to go to work, why aren't you here?
I didn't know. I believe that there's some background things happening as far as where some people may have more authority or power over my start date. And that's exactly what it is.
No, what I mean is last night when you realized that you did not have to report to work because your background was pending, why did you not come to court this morning?
Because I have transportation issues. I have to walk 30 minutes to a bus stop. And it's like, why am I keep having these back and forth situations that are very stressful for my health and my mentality? And I'm exhausted with this whole case that's been going on for 7+ years because of nonsense and no communication. And people that scheming over monetary reasons, over greed.
Okay. You need to probably get to the courthouse. Okay. Because I don't know what's going on in your background, but it's not painting a very good picture for you.
Oh, he's going to Family Dollars to go get cigarettes.
Yeah, I'm not worried about where he's going. What I'm saying to you is that you need to come to the courthouse.
I don't have no way.
How did you get here yesterday?
I walked 30 minutes to the bus stop.
Okay.
What you need, baby?
No, they want me to come to the courthouse now.
All right, let's go.
And matter of fact, I may stop at the library to go print out my whole supportive documents as far as my tests, as far as my drugs, as far as me trying, as far as my job and everything. And it's
I don't
just
think you have time. You don't have time at this point to print anything out. You can come here. We'll deal with it when you get here. But you need to come to the courthouse.
Come on, open the door. Hey, open the door. I think this is right.
no. You're
All right.
gonna take me directly there.
No.
All right. Thank you. I'll see you later.
Door. Can you open the door, please? I said it.
So we're going to start back with your case, Mr. Ammons. Call your next witness.
That's so fake.
What's wrong?
That's fake. That's fake.
Hold up. I have to get some tissue, please. Okay, yeah. You just can't get up no more.
My grandkids don't see that.
Okay.
We stay in two.
Who do you?
We stay
No,
in two-
listen. I've already told you what to do.
Mhm.
Call your next witness.
Miss Fanny Wright, please.
Okay.
Testify.
Okay. Are you planning on being a witness? All right. If you don't mind going in and sit where your granddaughter or great granddaughter is. Right outside the first double door to your left.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead, sir.
Rachel, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you present to the court to be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
State your name for the court and spell it, please.
My name is Fannie Mae Wright. And my FANNIEMAEWRIGHT.
How you doing today, Miss Wright?
I'm doing great.
If you could, would you let the court know our relationship? What is your relationship with me?
You're my grandson.
And how would you describe me as a person?
A real kind person.
Have you had any interaction with Aaliyah, Money, or DJ?
Yes, I've seen him many times. Brought him to the house.
In any way, do you feel like I'm a harm to my children or I would hurt my kids?
No way. Not you love your children, and I love them also. You really love your children.
Have me, you, and my sister, and my 3 children, have we attended church at?
Yes, you all have. You and your children. 3 children, you and my other granddaughter.
So we have went to church with you?
Yes.
If you can give me 1 second. Okay, far as the kids, when you see them with me or when I bring them to your house, are the kids happy when
Yes,
they're
they're
with their
very
father?
happy. Very happy. When they be with you, they're very happy.
Have you ever saw Aaliyah Ammons McCoy, who you just saw in the courtroom today? Have you ever saw her with her head down, acting the way that she was acting today, anytime when she has been in my presence with me?
No, never. She always be real happy with her daddy.
Is it true that you even asked why is she acting like that?
I asked this morning why she acting like that. I asked her, but she didn't respond.
Would you find it to be true that me as a father just want the best for my kids and want to raise my children up so they can be the best that they can be in life?
Yes. I know you want to raise them up so they can be the best in their life because you love them very much, and I do too.
If Your Honor was to award me custody of my kids, do you think their well-being would be good, or would you think it'd be bad in my care?
I think it'll be very good in your care. Because they always have loved you and respected you. They always have been happy. I don't see why not.
So you never saw the kids act in no type of disrespectful manner towards me?
No, never.
Do you think my mom is a good parent? Do you know Erica Ammons?
Yes, I know Erica.
Do you think Erica Ammons is a good parent?
Yes. So she's a good parent to you. So I'm pretty sure she'll be a good parent to her grandchildren.
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, do you have any questions for her?
Well, this is my first time meeting her. So I really can't answer questions. What's your name again?
My name is Fannie Mae Wright.
Okay, Fannie Mae Wright. This is the first time hearing of you. I'm sorry. This is my first time hearing about you. The grandkids would have told me. So how many times have you seen them?
I've seen them all a lot of times last year and year before last when he bring them to the house. He brings them there as much as he can when you have them with him.
When I was just sitting here, this is my first time seeing you, and Gladys' first time seeing you. I asked my granddaughter, who is that? And she was like, I seen her 5 times. That's about in my whole life. Is that true?
No, that's not true.
Okay. That's it.
Okay. Ms. Lord, do you have any questions up for her? All right, thank you. You may step down.
All right, thank you.
Call your next witness.
I don't have one. I don't know if I could ask Ms. Lord a question again, but if not, then
Yes, you can recall her.
Ms. Lord, please.
Raise your right hand.
Or do I remain under oath?
Yeah.
Okay.
You may proceed.
Ms. Lord, is it fair to say in your recommendations and your investigation in this case, you were kind of leaning towards one side already? Due to the fact you haven't heard, I was late with contacting you, so you already had your mind made up.
You've already asked her this question, something else.
Okay. So when it comes to the best interest of kids, checking their schooling, is that a part of that, or their educational, making sure their educational needs are being met? That doesn't matter.
Yes, it matters. The first time that Ms. Shanta Murphy came to meet with me, well, I guess when she responded to the questionnaire, one of the things it asked for is school records and medical records, and she provided that along with the questionnaire. So I had those records, and I also had some that my staff got from the schools, and I checked those. Now, I have not updated them this year, and I should have, or, I think it would have been good if I'd done that, but I did not. I did look at some updated records from Ms. Shanta Murphy, but I did not go back directly to the school.
Okay, so it's fair to say Aaliyah and Amani progress right now in school, you don't know, and Duntarius Ammons McCoy Jr. progress in school right now, you don't know, but you do know about 2020, the previous year.
And, well, I have some information about it. I was shown a picture and a copy of an honor certificate that DJ received recently. And I talked to the girls about their grades, and I also saw something about their grades. It seemed they were doing satisfactorily. I don't have a detailed breakdown, and I did not reach out to their teachers.
Okay, Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes. Can you show her what you're about to approach, Ms. Lord, with? Show Ms. Murphy.
Yes.
Their grades.
The school records, and
Okay.
everything is already in the Dropbox. These are the records from 2021.
I know they're,
These
okay, all A's and B's.
Okay.
Okay, just looked at them real quick so she can take them to Ms. Lord.
Okay,
So you'll know what he's presenting her with.
all A's and B's, good. All A's and B's,
The F.
1 F, okay, but all
Okay,
A's and
you don't
B's.
need to fight that right now. He just wants to show the documents to you.
So you do
It's-
recognize the documents?
But look at
Are
all
these the school? the
Yes.
kids'
You don't
school
have to do that. You just need to show her the
Yes,
papers that
he
you're
do that. He
presenting.
does that.
Well, you're gonna have to if that's what you're asking her to review. Okay, now what is the issue with the documents that you want her to focus on?
Now, the first document, can I stand right here? The first document that you have that is in reference to Aaliyah Ammons McCoy, is that correct?
Yes, it appears to be a student period attendance detail for Miller Grove Middle School for 23-24 for Aaliyah Mellon Ammons McCoy.
Okay. And far as her attendance, you said the attendance was great. Has she missed over 100 classes this school year? Far as the paperwork that you're looking at?
That's not true.
I've already told you, stop doing that, okay? You're gonna have an opportunity to rebut anything that's being said.
Okay.
That's for everybody, okay?
Mhm.
It looks like there are a large number of unexcused classes and tardies. Yes.
To be exact, if you want to go to the last page.
Okay, let me just try to move this along. I'll read them out, okay?
Yeah, I'm saying, if you just go to the last page on the page on the docket, the first docket I gave you, and all you have to do right there, if you have a pen or a calculator, you can tally up the absences from each semester.
Well, this reflects, for first period, there was a total of 45 absence and 18 tardy. For second period, a total of 56 absences and 27 tardies. For frankly, I'm not quite sure how to interpret it, but I would just say, yes, it does
Right.
reflect a number of, does appear to reflect a number of unexcused absences and tardies for several classes.
Okay, whatever that document is that you're having in your hand, we're gonna mark it. We're gonna mark it P1A.
Okay.
The one that you actually read from.
Yeah.
We're gonna mark it P1A, and then any other document that's clipped together will say B, C, D, E, so they'll all match.
Do you need an exhibit?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Exhibit slips?
Mm-hmm.
So it would be fair to say that, well, you didn't add it up, but the accurate number of classes that Aaliyah has missed this year is 175. And she's arrived late to class, if I'm not mistaken, either 80 or 85 times just this school year.
I can't confirm the total, but I will note that there does appear to be a number of unexcused absence and tardies.
Over 100 unexcused absences,
I-
correct? Well, you know, 50 plus 40 plus 30 is over 100, correct?
Over unexcused absences a day, or are you saying per class?
She's missed, this school year, she's missed 175 classes.
Classes?
Yes, ma'am.
So how many days?
Her exact days of total school she's missed,
Does it say how many days we're talking about?
it doesn't say the exact days, but it's like if you go through the records, it's some on there where she was missing for 4 periods. She was missing first, second, third, fourth period, and only showed for the last period. If you look at that record right there, also in the commentary, you can look and see the teacher's commentary and see where teachers say the child come to school smelling like weed. The child came in class smelling with a scent on her.
Okay. Well, yes, so with regard to the issue of how many days, does the record show the number of days missed from school or only how many classes?
It shows days, classes, and lateness.
So what are the days? That's what I'm asking you. How many days does it show?
I can't tell for sure. The minimum number of classes missed for each class shown appears to be 11. So I assume that there were 11 days when she was absent. Well,
Okay.
I shouldn't assume, but I don't see a listing of how many days,
Okay.
full days are absent.
Okay.
May I proceed? And also on that school record, the same one that you have right there in your hand, how many times would you say Aaliyah Amos McCoy has been suspended this school year?
I'd have to take several minutes to look through these. I see a record of an out-of-school suspension of 3 days.
On what date was that?
Excuse me?
On what date was that out of school suspension?
It looks like it was February 8th through February 12th.
This year?
Yes.
And do you know why? Because you were still in your investigation in this case. I think one of those days we did mediation at your office,
Mm-hmm.
and Aaliyah was suspended from school on one of those days. Is that correct?
Yes, it appears so if this document's accurate.
And Shanta Murphy didn't let you know that?
No, she did not. And I might note that I only remember getting one or two of these documents from you submitted during my investigation. But no, I did not hear. I wondered, well, at any rate, no, I did not hear that she was suspended that day.
Did any concern come to you on why she came to the meeting that was scheduled for me and her for the mediation with 4 kids on a school day? 4 kids?
I did wonder about that, yes. But
You didn't care to ask?
at the moment, I was rather overwhelmed I was trying to use the opportunity to bring the parties to agreement on a plan. And I also saw it as a good opportunity to talk to the children one more time and try to, now that, I'd done various things to try to help them feel comfortable with me. And I saw it as an opportunity to talk to them and give them another chance to express their views or any concerns they have.
Correct. And when you spoke with them in the meeting that was supposed to only be attended for me and Shanta, you didn't speak with them individually. You brought the ringleader in with the rest of them, correct? And spoke with them
Who's the
collectively.
ringleader?
Aaliyah Amos McCoy.
Why are you calling your daughter the ringleader?
She's
Why wouldn't you just say you brought in Aaliyah?
because she is the head of the situation. Like the kids follow Aaliyah. My
Yeah, I'm
other
just
daughter,
wondering why you're calling her now the ringleader, as if it's like you're anticipating something negative. Why is she the ringleader?
because Your Honor, once our pre-trial notice, after our trial notice was set, and I got the kids, my Money Amos McCoy, she was happy. My son was happy. For some reason, Aaliyah had an attitude, which she was on her cycle, but and that day was the first time in my whole life where I ever experienced any disrespect from my child. So
Okay. Let's not refer to your daughter as the ringleader, as if she has her own feelings. So technically, she might feel like she wants to do something else. It's completely okay. But are you intimating that she is somehow masterminding something?
yes, she's
Yes.
slick. Aaliyah is slick. She's slick. If she's Your Honor, the school has multiple resource officers. It's a middle school. This isn't even high school. If she can skip over 100 times and not get caught by the resource officers and all that, so all I was saying is, if she asks Aaliyah a question around my other children, they're gonna follow what Aaliyah says. I have texts with my other kids asking, well, what if Aaliyah want to stay? They want to come. My other two children want to come. And you know what Aaliyah want to do? She don't want to stay with me. She don't want to stay with Shanta. She want to stay with her auntie, which is the person that Shanta stays with.
And I would suggest that right now you not say that, because unless we're talking about a whole different person, that's not what I just spent time with her and I'm not getting any of that. In fact, her statements are completely contrary. For example, you're saying now that she's the ringleader and what she wants, the other kids want, well, she just told me something totally different. She acknowledges that the other children want different things. She never said what I want the other kids want. In fact, she specifically made references. And so when you say ringleader, that paused me because, and then you said something about her attitude towards you. And her statements to me were very decent about you, but now you make me think that I was talking to somebody else.
No, because she, like I said, my daughter has only acted out with me one time in her whole entire life. All the other
That's not
times,
what she's also saying.
yeah,
but-
all the other times I got my children, Shanta always say, making sure they acting good. They acting good. I'm like, yeah, they act like
Okay.
they
All I'm
babies
saying
for me.
is, let's not refer to her as the ringleader.
Okay.
Okay. Call her your daughter or say her name, but the ringleader seems to me that you're having this negative connotation about her, which concerns me that you have that feeling like she's some con artist or something. She's a kid. She's 14.
Correct. You're correct.
Okay. Let's refer to her by her name.
Okay, and you spoke with all the kids together, correct?
Yes, I did. I thought that might leave them feeling more comfortable if they were together. And also I had a sort of limited number of places to put people for that meeting. I was using my office conference room in my office and to some extent my office reception area.
Okay. Back to the suspension. So you only see one suspension?
Yes, I believe so. I just see the one from February, from, a few days ago.
Okay. May I approach Your Honor, because I can show her two more suspensions in that same paperwork.
I don't see a key, but there is an OS indication which would be consistent with an, oh yeah, and it says out-of-school suspension. And there's one on 2/12/24, one on 1/5/24, and one on 9/15/23.
Did you just say 3? Was those 3 suspensions?
Those were out-of-school suspensions.
I'm saying, did you give me, were there 3 dates?
Yes.
Okay, and while you're looking, what about in-school suspensions? Any in-school suspensions?
I don't believe I see any.
May I approach Your Honor?
Yes.
Oh, here's one. 10/30/23.
Okay, so just one in-school suspension.
That's all I see in this report, yes.
Okay, anywhere in that report that you have right there, do you see any things where teachers commented on Aaliyah coming to school with a smelling scent on her clothes?
I see a reference to a behavior resolution, but it doesn't, it doesn't say specifically what that was. I see one comment, overslept.
If you could, just read the comments out to me that you see, because I know you're skipping over a lot of comments that you're seeing right now.
Not really. I mean, there's just things like arrive at class at 8:55 a.m. or skipping. Here's one, Aaliyah arrived at 3 p.m. with clothing scent concern.
Okay.
There's one checkout 1:02 p.m. Unexcused, reason unknown. Others were generally just referenced a behavior resolution and gave it a number.
Okay. And I believe you have it on. In that paperwork that did Shanta aware you about the drug dog finding drugs in Aaliyah bag at school?
No,
Did Shanta aware you about Aaliyah's vaping, smoking in class?
no,
Did Shanta aware you about Aaliyah having a dildo in her book bag in school?
no, and apparently those two things were the basis for the recent suspension. It happened last week or whatever.
Okay, in that paperwork there, do you see anything reference to that?
Well, on the statement about the out-of-school suspension that we talked about, the one that lasted until the 12th, the details, it states, incident details. Ms. Sharon, well, should I read it, Your Honor? Read it aloud?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Sharon, teacher reported student using a pink vape during class. Mr. Warren, AP, conducted a search of student's book bag and found the pink vape and a blue sex toy. Mr. Warren was only able to reach Ms. Alexis Murphy Ant. 3 days OSS.
So they wasn't able to get in contact with Shanta Murphy.
I don't know what efforts they made, but that's what they said they were. All I can tell you is it says was only available to reach Ms. Alexis Murphy aunt.
Okay. Do you know Alexis Murphy?
I don't believe I've ever met her. I talked to her on the phone.
Do you know her age?
I don't recall her age.
If we could you look at a Money's school record that's in front of you?
I'm marked Exhibit P 1B, a student period attendance record for Amani Nicole Ammons McCoy for Miller Grove Middle School, year 23-24. And it reflects a number of unexcused and tardies, not as many as for Aaliyah, that are show period 1, 3 unexcused, 1 tardy, period 2, 8 unexcused, 0 tardy, period 3, 14 unexcused, 1 tardy, period 4, 12 unexcused, 6 tardies, period 5, 12 unexcused, 6 tardies, period 6, 9 unexcused, 1 tardy, period 7, 6 unexcused, and 3 tardies.
So it is fair to say Amani Ammons McCoy skips class too, and is that correct?
She has skipped class on a number of occasions, apparently, yes.
70 classes to be exact. Is that correct? We have a 17, 23, and 30.
The report speaks for itself.
Okay. Now, if the kids were in my care and they missed all them type of school, and that wouldn't reflect on, you wouldn't question my parenting skill, or am I involved with the school, or can the teachers even contact me and get in? I just find 170 classes to miss out of a school year that it hasn't even finished is insane. And there's no way you can be passing and you're missing all those classes. You're not even in class to pass. You're not in class to turn in your homework. How are you doing homework? And you're not in class.
Excuse me, what was the question?
How could a kid do homework if the kid doesn't go to class?
Well, sometimes they, have an advanced assignment and a project. Sometimes they get it on the internet. Sometimes they get it from their friends. They can be done in a different variety of ways. But yes.
But you have to show the class just to even turn the homework in, correct? You have to be present for class.
That's very likely.
Okay. And you have more records in front of you?
A few, yes.
You can just pick whichever one you want to go with.
I think I remember asking you at one point whether, when you expressed concern about their schooling, whether you had sought out any information from the school, and you told me that you weren't allowed to get any. But I'm just.
Yes, that's from my son's school that they didn't list me on, that they just transferred him to when they had to move. Yes.
My impression was it was no records from any school, but I'm glad you were able to get some.
Yes, thank you. Because without these records, it'll just be the kids are doing perfect in school. They're straight A, B students. They're honor roll students. Their attendance great. So if I didn't provide these records today, you already gave your testimony stating the kids are educational. She's taking them to school and everything is being met. She's also agreed. The kids great in school. Their attendance, No, they haven't missed. If I would have said they missed 10 classes, she would have said, no, that's a lie. But we have the paperwork
I
and
have seen some school
those are
records that
records.
indicated the grades were by and large good. These attendance records reveal a shortcoming in my investigation. Yes.
Okay. And some of those, may I approach, Your Honor?
Yes. Mhm.
And what is that you have in front of you now?
It's student profiles for Amani Emmons McCoy and Dontarius Emmons McCoy for school year 21-22. Has graphs that appear to,
It's the absence sheet. It shows their absences. And this isn't skipping class. This is how many classes, how much total school they have missed.
yes, they show total school days missed as between 2019-20 and 2020 and 21. And it has gone, it reflects, it went up for Dontarius Jr. in 2021 as opposed to 2019-20.
What are the numbers?
I don't see, hard to read. I believe the 2021 is 15 and the earlier one is perhaps 7. I can mark it as P1C and perhaps the
Okay.
court's eyesight's better than mine.
So you said in 2021, he missed 15 days of school, elementary school, my son?
I believe so. It's a shaded area with print in it, so it's.
Do you find that adequate for to meet a child's educational needs, to have them out of school a half a month? 15 calendar school days?
It sounds somewhat high. I know, I remember reading in portions of we also have to remember that these children have been through some stressful times. There's been times when, they were talking to defects investigators at one place or another. And I noticed in some of the reports I talked to the investigators that asked the children about were they in school that day? Why were they not in school? Or on other occasions talking to them in school. So I think all of this, and then the stresses and strains of dealing with this debate between those who are in their family has been stressful for them. And frankly, I think your continued efforts to contact and persuade them in recent weeks is probably also.
I object
stressful.
speculation.
Well, you yourself have showed me text messages between you and one of your children, which I would put in that category.
I know you object to speculation, but I really didn't understand what she speculated. I really didn't understand I didn't understand the answer to answer the objection. What specifically did you say?
I basically am saying that I think the children have been under unusual stress.
I got the stress
At
part.
times during this, and I think one of the things that is particularly stressing them now is that they're feeling put on the spot, and that Mr. McCoy is sort of lobbying and he showed me some text messages which were during the time I was meeting. I took the girls to a basketball game, thinking that would be be fun, and it also would be a good place to chat. And apparently he was texting one of his daughters during the basketball game and getting answers back from her and stuff like that. And then
Texting her about the basketball game, or just what are y'all doing with her?
well, he apparently asked her questions later about where they were and what were they doing and what was she saying and things like that. So I just, and it's also consistent with
And
he's been repeatedly telling me that Ms. Murphy has agreed to a settlement, and then he'll show me a text and say, see, she's agreed. And then it'll be like, Ms. Murphy says, no, we didn't agree. And then it just feels like he keeps contacting over and over and over again. So I think it's made it more stressful. I don't really know a lot about those contacts, but I do think it's caused, it's had a certain stressful impact. And I'm concerned
Yes,
about it. And
that's why I objected, because she's speculating, because that isn't true.
Okay. I'm going to overrule the objection. She's the guardian ad litem for the children, so I'm going to allow her to make that statement.
Okay. And far as that statement that she just made, that I'm pressuring the kids or I'm contacting Shanta, if I have proof,
Just ask her questions. She's the guardian ad litem for the children, so if her concerns are that you're pressuring the children, she should be able to articulate that to the court.
Okay.
But of course, you can present evidence, and you'll have an opportunity to talk too. So you can, if you believe, that's otherwise, and you're not doing that, you'll have an opportunity to do it. But because she's the guardian ad litem for the children, and she's trying to do what's in the best interest of the children, if her calculations in summary is that she feels like it's pressuring, I'm going to allow her to make that statement.
okay.
Only because she's to some extent their voice in this proceeding, so I'm going to allow it.
Okay. Yeah, because we kind of got off track there. We was talking about the school attendance, and then you went on to you think I'm pressuring them. That's kind of why I feel like biasness in the situation.
All right, go ahead and answer the question. I think because one of the things you got to be mindful of as you're cross-examining her position was from the beginning, you didn't give her any information. You didn't give her these reports from school. You didn't let her visit your house. You didn't give her the information. So she's not biased. She doesn't have any information. There's only one side for her to review. So bias would be if you gave her the information and she ignored it. You didn't give her the information. She didn't have it. And so I want you to be mindful of that. So just ask her the information about what you're providing now. But to some extent, I'm frustrated as I sit here because I'm thinking, if you had all these documents, why did you keep them? You could have given them to the guardian ad litem, and we're spending hours in court going through stuff that she was supposed to go through in her office. So when she came into court today, she would be able to articulate, here are the records that were provided to me, or here are the records that I reviewed, and she could tell me the information. I shouldn't be first listening to it from you today. If you have the records, why would you keep them? Why wouldn't you give them to her in January when she asked you to do the questionnaire, or even before then? Why are you keeping the records until the day of the hearing? And you're going to go, voila, surprise. I don't know if that's what you were trying to do, but it's not helpful. Because another thing is, I interviewed Aaliyah. Now I got to bring her back and interview her again because you're having surprise records. Why are you keeping the records? Why didn't you just give them to her when she asked for them?
Far as those, I had, far as those records,
Right, because that seems to be the crux of your position, is that the children were not doing well, that they're being suspended, that they're smoking marijuana, they're doing all these negative things, all of the stuff that your guardian ad litem would need, so that when she comes into court, she can have all this information and make strong decisions. That's her job. And basically what you did was, I don't know why you did it, or you thought, I don't know what your rationale was, but it concerns me because I'm thinking to myself, you're causing me a lot of wasted time. Miss Lord could have reviewed those records and she could come up here and give me a recommendation, which is the reason why typically I don't ask the guardian ad litems to question witnesses when they're in court, because they've already questioned those witnesses before they come to court. But because you gave your information so late, she doesn't have an opportunity to interview the people that you're bringing now in court. So this is her first time hearing from these people.
Yes, Your Honor. And also, like she stated yesterday, the witness list that I did provide in January, she didn't contact none of my witnesses
Oh, when did you provide the witness list?
in January.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
I thought she said she tried to meet with you in January and
No.
you were unavailable.
No, ma'am. We met in January. Her first time meeting with the kids were in December, the end of December, and
Mhm.
I met with her in January.
Okay. And what about these school records? When did you have those school records?
Just last week.
So
Now,
I thought you said, so the only time you're finding out about Aaliyah being suspended, Aaliyah's grades are going down, all of that, the only time you knew about that was last week?
yes, about all the suspensions. I knew about one of the suspensions, but the other suspensions, like, they hide them from me.
So the only time you're finding out about the suspensions and how well and the number of absences was last week.
Yes, ma'am.
That's your first time figuring this out.
Yes, ma'am.
So your position that you were taking about the children doing better with you was based upon what then?
Because if the kids are with me, I'm gonna be involved in the school.
Yeah, I don't understand. I get that part. But if from your understanding before last week, it was your understanding before last week that the children were doing fine in school other than this one suspension and that they were going to school and there were no issues with them during school, right? That was your general understanding.
Correct.
And just last week you found out that wasn't true, or at least that's your argument, right?
Correct.
Okay. So, and that's the first time you're hearing about that information.
Yes, about all those missed days.
Right.
The school have contacted me sometime. They have contacted me a couple times just due to like minor situations. And I believe that was for money that the school contacted me about. But
But the
yes,
information you're hearing now is the first time. But before you had that information, it was your belief that the children would do better with you, correct?
yes, ma'am.
Better with you than what? What was the basis of your decision that the children are not doing well?
Their grades, like some of those documents, only documents that's new that she has is the Aaliyah and the money. The other two that she just read off, all that's been in the Dropbox. The court have it. Shanta has access to it, and also Miss Lord has access to the.
Which one? The grades or what was it?
text.
What was it that made you say, I have something that makes me feel like I can do better? What was the thing that you were using as your basis for doing better? Why did you think the children could do better with you? What was it? What were you looking at?
The environment.
Okay, so you were thinking about their general environment.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And the
All right.
structure and
The
like,
structure of their general environment, you felt like they could do better.
yes,
with you.
ma'am. And the
Okay.
kids.
So you were not basing it on the grades, so that is brand new,
I wasn't basing it on the skipping.
the skipping school.
The
Okay.
grades is part of the environment because my kids go to bed when they get tired. That's when they fall asleep.
Okay. So I got it now. All right. So this information is new and you were not holding on to it. You
No,
just
ma'am.
didn't have it.
I just didn't have it.
Okay. That makes a big difference because I'm thinking, why are you holding on to all of the information when Ms. Lord would have been able to review those things prior to court? But your position is you just got it.
Yes, ma'am.
Got it. Okay.
And the other information that she has up there, she's already been able to view. It's in the Dropbox folder.
Okay. All right. So we're going to have to take another break. I had another case that I needed to finish doing a hearing on, and then I got someone to push that other trial back. We're going to take a break now. It's 11:43, so I'm going to ask that you all return back at 1. go ahead and have your lunch break now and return back at 1. Also bring Miss Aaliyah. She'll come back at 1 as well. Can you bring her in? Let me give her some instructions.
And Your Honor,
Yes.
I know if you said it ain't gonna control, like.
What's your issue? Go ahead,
but
spit it out.
Please, like, you shouldn't tell a child your daddy lying and your daddy lying. And why would you tell a child your daddy lying? Your daddy don't like you.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Go ahead and tell me what you're talking about. Just like you guys you're skipping stuff. Remember, I don't know what you were saying, something about the way she behaved. I don't know what you're talking about. I have no clue. What is it that you saw this morning that you want me to give that you're concerned about?
It's just the parental alienation that she does. Just telling my daughter I'm lying, even if I told the guardian of life.
What did you hear her say this morning that you want me to admonish her about? What is it?
It's nothing that I heard in this courtroom.
Okay, then I've already made the general comment to everyone. That's no more than I can do. I've made it very clear. You guys are not to discuss the case and make comments about each other. I said that yesterday. There's nothing more I can do other than say that. I talk with her and see I try to talk with her to determine whether or not she's stating her own mind about what she wants. And that's the best that I can do. So I'm making it very clear for you, both of you, not to do that. Okay. Neither of you. You're not to say anything bad about Miss Shanta around them. Miss Shanta is not to say anything bad about you around them. What I've been trying to articulate to both of you is that you're both important in these children's lives, and you're very important to them. You all are key figures in their lives. And I don't know why, for some reason, you all cannot get along with each other. Just like when you had the ability to care for your children, they were in your home, you were caring for them, you were doing the best you could do, okay? When you could not do that, someone stood in your gap. There was someone in your gap. That gap filler was Miss Shanta. You cannot overlook that. And I don't want you to, because if she was not the gap filler, your kids could be split up. They could be anywhere by now. So I know you're not saying she may not have done the best job that she could do, but she did a job.
Yes, ma'am. And I appreciate it. I tell her all the time.
So that's what I want you guys to appreciate each other for. Okay. It's like, I don't know what it is that's going on, but the animosity between the two of you, it's causing your children an enormous amount of stress. Enormous amount of stress. I need for you guys to understand that. Do you know how stressful it is for those kids?
Yes.
No, you don't.
I understand.
Okay. So, because if you did, you guys would be behaving a lot different. You would bury whatever hatchet you had for each other if you understood it. Okay. Because you're understanding it, but you're understanding it filled with emotion. Okay. That's the reason. That's the reason why you guys can't see each other, because as much as you try, you're blocked by emotion. And it's causing stress for your children. Your children are acting out, not because of what's necessarily going on in Miss Shanta's house, but what's going on in this entire environment. You're both involved in the creation of this stress. Some things by circumstances, certain things that you can help, certain things you cannot help, but it still exists. Your children are stressed and they're at their breaking point. They're not going to be able to take much more of it. You can think you're going to handle it all you want. You could think that. You could think they're coming in your house is going to make this enormous amount of difference. But when your kids are stressed and broken, I don't care what kind of parent you think you are, it takes a lot to make a difference in those children's lives once you've broken them. Okay? So what I'm asking for you, again, what I'm asking is that you try to take that emotion and bury it and put your goodwill, the children's goodwill, above, or best interest above your own. They love both sets of parents. Okay? And they want to be involved. They want both of you involved. I'm trying to make a very difficult decision, but it's going to be very difficult to do that when I have people who cannot get along. What am I supposed to do? If you can't get along with her and she can't get along with you, what does that do for the kids who have to and be involved with both of you? Do that means I got to take one of you out of their lives? Is that what you want? And let them not have the person that they have grown up with significantly involved in their lives, and vice versa. Same thing. You guys are going to have to do what I need for you to do. I'm sorry, ma'am, I cannot hear you because you're not a party to the case. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, so I'm going to bring her in. I'm going to give her instructions. All right, that's the best that I can do. And I'm asking you again, both of you, you've got to be mindful. It's hard. I know it's hard. I know what it is. I know it's hard. Okay, but I'm telling you because I've seen it too many times. Okay, I've seen it too many times. You're not the first father, grandmother situation I've dealt with. Okay, and I'm concerned because you don't want to spend your entire life in this courtroom, but I've seen them grow up here because the parents or grandparents or situation cannot get along. And when you cannot get along, all you do is your kids just grow up in court. That's all. I'll just see you here next year and the year after that and the year after that and the year after that. And your kids will just be stressed and can't wait to get out your house. That's what's going to happen. Okay. Come around a little bit. We're about to take a lunch break. So I think you'll probably go somewhere with your grandmother. That's who brought you, right? Okay. You're not to have any discussions with your grandmother about the case. You're not talk about what we talked about in chambers. Those are private conversations, okay? All right. And they're not going to ask you to reveal any of it, and you don't have to reveal any of it, okay? All right. And they've been told to not pressure you or ask you any additional questions, all right? All right. Thank you. All right. I'll see you guys after lunch. Thank you.